Alrighty, I'm going to do a little bit more footage on Tiger Wraps using mono. The wrap that you see in front of you is 4 threads. It's metallic blue, red twist, orange twist, and yellow twist. They're all size D thread, so I'm going to use 130 pound test line. I've done this once before on a little bit bigger piece, a little larger in diameter, so I am imagining I'm going to get similar results, but as I've found so astonishingly during all my testing is that there is nothing that you can really count on for sure with Tiger Wraps. The slightest difference could make a completely different outcome. So what I do is I take a clip here and I put some cork inside of it so that it holds it to the blank well. And this is just so I can test. If I find a result I want, then I can go back later and make it permanent. So basically loop the line over, clip it to the rod. I'm working from away from the rod here because I got the video camera basically between my legs. Okay, so this is going against the grain, or against the previous wrap, which is the way we've done it quite a bit with Tiger Wraps. The second layer always goes against the wrap. So I'm going to wrap about half of this section so that you can get a good view of what kind of patterning is going on. Then I'm going to switch it around and I'm going to go with the wrap. I'll take some, move the camera around so you can get a good view of what's happening with the patterns in this. Seemed like the lines, rather than going around like you see on the under wrap, they're starting to elongate and go down the wrap quite a bit. The previous test I did on this same color combination, I wrapped with the threads and got a really vague pattern. This seems to have pattern and it's elongated, but the other one had a really vague pattern you'll see in the other pictures that I'll post with this particular wrap. But this is still a very interesting set of patterns. And at any other given date I would probably keep this. My intention is to wrap this with mono each way so that I can videotape it for you, and then go back and do it as a thread wrap, a regular tiger. So I've tied it off there, not tied it off, but got it clipped off, and we'll come up here and move the camera. So that you can see what kind of patterns we have. See, it's elongated, kind of have a little island there. It's really a nice, interesting pattern. Now this is against, or the opposite direction as the under wrap was. Okay, I'm going to undo this and go back to the other side right here. This is kind of a fun thing that I do when I'm playing around here. So you can see it, a lot of work, and then it comes right back off. Now on this side, I'm going to go over here again, clip it to the rod. This is a fun way to do it so that you can test different directions, different size mono, and not have to worry about tying everything off every time. Now this appears at this point to be more like the first test I did on the same color patterns, same color threads, that I got really vague stuff, although there comes in a blue streak. The other sample that I did, I actually finished off in mono. You'll see pictures of it along with this entire setup that I'm doing. The other one, I got to take a break here and pull this camera back around. Sorry for that. I had to do that because I had the line between the legs of the camera, the tripod. Anyway, the other sample that I did was on a much larger diameter. I'd say another probably quarter of an inch or more, even 3/8 of an inch diameter larger. My original sample looked much more like this down here. Okay. Again, at any other time I would probably keep this. You can see how the thread really changes depending on how you're looking at it. Now I'm going to go ahead, stop the camera, and get set up to do this with regular thread. I just want to see the overall difference of what it'll be like. I'll come back and film that at the end. Now I'm going to go ahead and do this with regular thread, all size D threads. Actually, 3 of them are kind of a D plus because they're twist threads. But what I wanted to do also, while I have the time, is to show you one of the more important parts, I feel is one of the more important parts of setting up a multiple thread tiger. When you do, you want things to stay in line as much as possible. In other words, in this case, the red is on the outside, which will actually be the inside, the closest to the black thread, then the tan, then the blue. If I do it that way, it'll stay in line coming off of my tensioner, and I shouldn't have any twists. So I'm going to start out here with the black. I'm not going to show you the whole wrap of the entire tiger. I'll just get it started, and then I'll turn off the video and not bore you to tears. So, again, this is a sample, so I'm not 100% OCD about how tight I wrap, although keeping it pretty tight, even if you're just doing a sample, is pretty helpful in the entire operation. So I'm going to get this out near the end, the yellow band here on the end. Slip me a loop in here. I like to make my loops with spectra, especially the original spectra from Iserline, because it lays flat and leaves me less of a tunnel when I pull the threads through. So I've got my loop open. Now I'm going to start pulling my threads and laying them in place. Like I said, the red I want to stay outboard with. Alright, like I said, I'm going to put red outmost. I had to make a little alteration That's why I stopped the video. So I'm going to take the red thread, put it under the black, through the loop, put my finger on it, then tighten it up at the spool. Now I'm going to take the tan, do the same thing, pretty hard to do here. I got a fan going and it's blowing the thread all over the place. Take the tan, put it under, in the loop, slide it over to where my finger was, hold it down, and pick up slack on it. And finally, the blue, the same thing. The reason I'm going under the black is because the black will eventually be going over all of these once I tuck them underneath. So I get it in place, red, tan, blue in that order. Tighten up on the tan, and tighten up on the blue. Okay, I don't know if you can see that, but I have red, tan, and blue in that order. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my fingers on both sides of that set of 3 threads, and I'm going to pull the loop through. Hopefully, I'll be keeping them in that same order. And it seems like they are. Then I loop the black over the top, which kind of automatically went over there. See, the black is now on the outside of the red, tan, and blue. The tan is a little puffy because I don't think I have the tension on it quite as good as I do the other two, but I'll catch up with that in a minute. So I've got them in order. I'll get a turn or two going here so I can stop and show you what it looks like. Once you get them all set up, it should go fine. I'll stop for a second now and show you what I mean by the pattern that, not pattern, but the order in which the threads are. You can see that the red is inside, then the tan, then the blue, then the black, and if it stays in that order all the way across, it'll be much easier and faster to wrap this way. I tend to burnish them together, especially on the top wrap, just so that the space between the black threads, once I get rid of the other 3, because I'm going to sacrifice all 3 of the red, tan, and blue, I want that space between the black threads to be as close to the same all the way across as possible, even after I burnish it, because I do also burnish on my top wrap. So I'm going to go ahead now and wrap the rest of this across, then show you a quick view of what it looks like when it's all wrapped and then we'll pull the threads and see what we got. Well, I'm done with the wrapping. Just to show you, goes across. As you look across, it's nice and even as far as the spacing between the black threads. I also did it on the wrap that was next to it, which is kind of a camouflage type wrap. And here's the mono version of the similar wrap. It's the same combination, twist brown, twist green, twist tan, and a black. Only in this one it's just a lighter combination. It's underneath. We'll see what's under it in a minute here. Let me get the camera positioned, and we'll tear this thing apart and see what we got. See my loop right there? Let me get my glasses on. I'll reach, pull up on my loop. You'll notice I don't pull on the threads, I just walk them off. Not exactly sure what I've got right now, but as it unwraps, it's looking pretty good. Every bit as good as it was with the mono wrap. Maybe not quite the same amount of movement as the mono wrap, but beautiful pattern. I love the colors. They're much brisker than they usually are with the mono, which is why on the mono wraps why I've been putting a black thread in. I'm going to go over on this side, move the camera over here, and start doing the same thing off this side. Really interesting patterns. This one's going to look really nice with finish on top of it. Again, this is 4 threads on the overwrap, all size D, and I'm sacrificing 3. They're actually more like D plus threads, but I use D plus because that's kind of what's in the underwrap. Okay, I'm going to stop this until I get the rest of it done, and then we'll come back to it. As you can see, I've got all the thread out of it. Some really interesting patterns, a little bit of tiger down in the last third there. Not a lot of tiger, but I always like the elongated lines and things like little islands that got created right in here. A little spot right there. I love those oddball things. Now I'm going to go ahead and undo the one next to it. I'll move the camera over here, and we'll see what we get with it. This is always the fun part of tigers, taking them apart, seeing what you got. This should be another type of camouflage type patterning. A little lighter colors than the other one. I'm going to switch the camera around, go to this side. Not seeing much black in there. It looks like it's mostly browns, greens, and tan. I don't know where the black ran off to. There was a black in the wrap, but it's just not making much contact with the black that I'm leaving on top. Still an interesting pattern, much the same as the one that I just undid. Elongated up towards the top, down towards the middle here. I'm getting some tiger. Not quite as elongated as the one before it, but you know, it's actually smaller diameter, so who knows. That's the one thing I'm really finding out about all this experiments that I'm doing with tigers, and especially with the mono, that, you know, a half-size difference in thread, you know, like D plus instead of D's, or diameter in the rod, or numbers of threads, 3 versus 4 versus 2. It's just really, you never know what you're going to come up with. And just about the time you figure you got it worked out, it changes. I have a friend that said, just when you get me figured out, I'm going to change. And that's what the tigers are doing here. It's much softer than the red, yellow, and orange, but you can see there's still a lot of nice patterning here. Elongated lines there. Pretty happy with it. So we'll put this all together in some kind of video in the near future. Just want to take a few minutes at the end of the video. Please, if you like it, give me a thumbs up, maybe a quick little comment. I try to answer all the comments that I get on YouTube. Also, if you don't like it, that's fine. Give me a thumbs down. But please take the time to, again, give me a little comment, because I really want to improve the videos, get the information out clear to everyone. Basically, what I do with these videos is I'm trying to help you get past some of the learning curves in rod building, which in the old days, nobody did that for you. So there's a lot of us out there that are doing these short little videos trying to help you improve your own techniques. I hope I'm doing some of that. Also, please understand I'm getting older. Maybe the years of smoking have caught up with me. Maybe it's just age. I don't know, but my voice and my throat gets dried out a lot. I start coughing, having a little problem with the videos. So please forgive me. Also, I've got dogs, I've got birds all over around the house, I've got fish going on in the backyard, so when I do my taping outside, you're probably going to hear a lot of background noise. At this point, I don't have a video program that I can remove that noise or have figured out how to work it to remove the noise. So please forgive that, and hope you enjoyed this. Well, it's getting close to Christmas time, well, a couple of months. It's always close to Christmas time nowadays. So I hope you have a great day. Also, I have a lot of short videos that have to do with tiger wrapping and different techniques I've been playing with. I don't know that I'm going to put them all on YouTube. I'll probably have them on all my Facebook pages, which I have a James Labanowski Facebook page, a Doc Ski Facebook page, and the Thread Art Facebook page. So check those out from time to time and see if there's something on there that you're interested in, might want to try in your own techniques, adding to your own techniques. So have a great day. We'll talk more later. Thank you.